Okay, it's Sojourn time. Recently, I have seen some thoughts from people who are really struggling with the hero, and I thought, why not talk a little bit about how to play her well. Of course, I am a terrible Sojourn player. If we look at my win rate and all comp seasons on her, 38%, you know, my weapon accuracy is atrocious. All that. But, and this is a low to mid diamond lobby. But I do want to illustrate that even if you're not very good mechanically and have low win rate, if you understand how the hero is played, you can still get very reasonable value. So my biggest concerns are going to be charging up rail and then holding it for power spikes of the team. And of course, not making myself a liability in the process. Would have liked to keep rail there if I could have, but I can drop here so that I'm not dropping in front of the hog. Don't even know if I hit the shot there at all. Pick that. We can toe the point. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, I should have been more patient. I thought I could maybe dive the soldier, because sometimes with Sojourn, if you hit those dives and place the E down and hit like a quick tap, you can do a lot of burst damage in a duel situation. Unfortunately, I was just too greedy. I needed to keep playing that patiently. Here, I just want to slide in, get that early build up on the rail. Body shot bandit, at it again. I think what I might do here... Yeah, I'm gonna head out this way. Ah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, because the reason I was going around the side there was so I could LOS the Widow. But I didn't have very good cover usage, and it made me at a disadvantage for handling both the hog and the soldier. So I need to watch that a little more. We should be good for the recontest here. Just in case I'm heading up here. Okay, we're all set. I have to watch for those Widow sightlines and the Roadhog, so I'm gonna hold pretty close walls here. I think I can just push cart here because my team is all pretty pushed up and we're not going to be able to actually get anything for quite some time.
We're on our way.
Just going to LOS that. No reason to take that. Body shot bandit, strikes again. Team is popping off. Very nice. Not doing too bad on the damage numbers. Okay, team is on cart. Okay, well, there goes my slide.
Nice work, team. Keep it moving. Area denial. This ends now. Calculated. 2 down. Disrupting. Cooling down.
Okay, yeah, I'm terrible at these slides. Like, you can tell that I'm not very adept at the hero in terms of my play cycles. But notice my overarching cycle is very consistent.
Breaking them down.
I'm just playing super carefully in terms of what I'm exposing to the enemy before I have rail. And then after I have rail, I start to play a little more aggro. So yeah, here we're just chilling.
Clear out.
I could, like, if I build rail here, I could probably... I'm gonna do it. So the reason I went for that is I was confident that the enemy team would be tied up long enough that I'd be able to get out like that.
Cybernetic innovation.
Because they were so contained by my Rhine. I shouldn't have railed there, I should have just held it. But my Rhine was sitting up top. Oh, she's up there. And I was really confident that I could hit the wrap up on that. Oh, I needed to hit that on the Lucio. Well, I didn't need to, but it would have been nice. Yeah, so she was so busy looking at me that just didn't matter. Nice. Yeah, I'm not doing too terribly. My team here is pretty good and we have a pretty functional comp. It would have been nice to have something a little more, you know, dysfunctional. Because it would have been better for, you know, the sake of education. But it is what it is. And hopefully, like, a lot of the principles that I'm talking about in terms of the thought process is beneficial. Because I think for the most part, I've been talking about most of my kit. I guess I haven't talked about the disruptor shots, mostly because while they matter a lot, I think that's more intuitive. You really should just use them shockingly when there's enemies that you can hit with it, and when you're actually trying to like peak your pressure. So for example, like a lot of the times I'll throw it down when I see that it's going to be getting pressure that's useful for my team or myself, not just to, you know, throw it out to get generic damage. It's like a lot of players would probably toss a disruptor shot right there as people rotate, but I'm actually going to wait because I think what I can do is the enemy team should rotate through here, and what I can probably do is hit a slide here and land a really good disruptor shot around here. And I think that'll be getting a lot more meaningful pressure in the long run. Yeah, this is gonna blow. I'm falling back because I want longer sight lines on that Pharah. So I have a little more comfy range, but I can't do too long because of the Widow. Need to build up rail fast, get a little more space. I missed it. Okay. And I didn't watch the sightline length. So what I should have done there is instead of playing up here, I should have actually just dropped back towards point, I think. Because that would have forced the Widow onto shorter sightlines. So here, this is actually more interesting, because while my team still has a pretty reasonable comp, the enemy comp is much harder for me to play into. I'm not going top, because I'm going to have less control over the sightlines. He's still going to run onto me. I can get out, though. Yeah, so I'm going to actually have to play Soj like a short range hero here. Can't repeat that. But at the same time, I need to have enough rail charge to check the Pharah. That was fortunate. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, my damage numbers are definitely starting to lag behind the lobby a little bit here now. I think maybe I need to avoid the Pharah more and just proactively duel the Widow more. That might be the play. I don't really like changing this into aim duels because I'm just bad at aim duels. But yeah, like let's fight this.
Move. Disrupting.
I should have just kept that rail. Where are you, Widow? Okay, glanced her.
Not so fast.
I can slide up here and brawl because my team is just like already here.
This ends now.
Oh, this blows. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, so my mistake there was I committed in way too deep when my team was actually kiting back. And while I didn't know that my team was gonna kite back,
No
it's
sweat.
very risky to commit to like a high risk, high reward play like that where you can't, walk it back and undo it if you don't know very like confidently that your team is gonna commit to it. Pharah's gonna ult here. I need rail.
Breaking them down.
This is gonna get really ugly really fast. Oh, that's good. Oh, Malga's gonna ult in a second.
Enemies back up. Not so fast.
I think I just need to hold this sight line. She's gonna shoot some shots here. I can just shrug it, the attention real quick.
Disrupting.
Watch the sight line. Yeah, I'm not doing great, but it's something. I can build up rail here. It's not really gonna matter though, because my team can't really like do anything with it. Maybe I can hit the Mercy on her rotation. Yeah, no. I don't have the aim for that. So Malga's gonna ult in here. Dude, my Reinhardt might be a beast. So he's going all in, so I'm just gonna go all in too.
Better from you.
Yeah, now I can't finish it. Maybe if I had better mechanics. So the trick is I'm watching the pacing of what my team is doing, and that's giving me a lot of hints as to where I should be going and when. It's like here, my team isn't, playing that aggro, so I'm actually just gonna chill out here a lot.
Not so fast.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. My rail is dissolved. I have to just shrug this. I was too slow with it. The reason I was awkward there is because I put on like more attention than I could reasonably survive if they all turned on me. And while my team was there to capitalize on it, I needed my E there was the problem, but I had thrown it like out on something stupid earlier and wasn't able to get the value that I needed.
Railgun charged. Dodge this.
Nice, my one headshot quota.
This ends now.
Gotta shrug their attention and chill for a second.
Not so fast.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It was reasonable. Let's see what happens in second game, because I want to make this two pieces preferably. And in the meanwhile, I want to talk a little bit about how you would handle a difficult map for Sojourn. So let's talk Dorado attack, for example.
Traveling to Dorado. We're in this together.
So this is pretty similar
All
to
of us.
Paraiso attack. So obviously you're at a pretty strong disadvantage in terms of verticality. So like here, I would focus on building up rail early here, but maybe you could travel with cart, or you would go duck behind here so that you have this cover, and then you can focus on building up rail here and go for shots here. But you have to be mindful of using your E to duel people who dive there. Then I would probably consider rotating here. You can use your slide or don't, depends on if you think there's people up here. If there's people up here, keep your slide. From here, you can really work this angle really, really hard. Like this is really, really good because you can slide to that mega if you need. And then also if your team goes all in, you can slide to here and get like a really good power angle to clear out this first section. Um, Alternatively, of course, if you also have like people rotating up behind, you can start to press to here. You wouldn't usually go through here though, because that can get really risky. And this is also super underrated because people fall back to here and you can pull back. You just can't get greedy and you have to make sure to shrug that attention. Then once you're there and push people out of here, you would actually rotate over this way and start to work this angle a little, but you have to be careful because if you peek this where they're going to be contesting cart, you can be vulnerable to a wide shot there. So what you might do is actually just work this and isolate out that. Just kind of work this until it's like softened up and moved out. And then you can peel out to here and start to like really work this wide angle because we cleared that out. So then once you're here, you can kind of just work this, maybe hit a hop to here. You cannot walk forwards though, because that's going to isolate your cover or like break your cover. So then you start breaking this, and then this whole area is pretty easy. You can use either side. Now from here, you look for some early charge. So what you can do, quick hack, is you can jump from these things up to there if you want. It's not like super useful, but see, like this is pretty useful because then if my tank is diving this and I'm trying to actually play for the high ground, I can actually just drop that here and play this and then just, slide out if I need. This is really good too. If you don't have high ground contesting, you shouldn't play for that. Like if your team can't contest the high ground, don't bother with that. Instead, you move underneath and cover the cart. So here you just isolate this and they can't really pursue you very easily. You can work this, even a little bit of this, if you want to get real spicy. Sometimes even all the way to here, but that's a little dicier. By the same note, you can play for the underneath, but I don't really recommend it because it's a lot more likely that people are just going to drop on you and run you over. And then from there, you would go through, you would kind of just play it up main, or I would recommend rotating through the mega. So like on that left side, you can either play cart, and then I would recommend like going into that small room and looking for some side shots there, or kind of playing in main. Or if you have OC, you can go all the way out by coast, and that's pretty strong too. So like once you get into that big open area, dude, well, at least this gives me a chance to, talk about it in action a little more here. I'll just put myself on defense because they'll spawn me closer.
Traveling to Dorado.
So
We're in this together.
once you're on this
All
side,
of us.
you can start to play for underneath here. So you can kind of spam here for rail, and then actually peel out this way, hit the rail on the back line, while being like really hard to contest here. As long as you're like not getting pinched from multiple directions, and that's like the easiest way to break it open. You can't really, I wouldn't go all the way across because you just don't get much team support.
Select your hero.
Okay, let's run it down again. And I know that was, a whirlwind of talking about Dorado, but on the philosophy, I know that seems really formulaic. You don't have to memorize it.
All of us.
The reason that I know, that sequence of how I want to approach things is because I've played the game a lot and I've seen a lot of what does and doesn't work. And the fundamental idea is always have stable cover. Don't like, don't go down hallways and stuff where it's easy to like if they jump you, you're not gonna have cover, right? Like play doorways and corners and keep your distance, because Soj likes having a little bit of distance. I know I said like I was playing close range versus that Widow, um, but that's obviously when you're the further ranged hero, which I would expect to be in a. So I think. Oh, I just messed up horribly. Okay, you didn't press. Yeah, I'm getting a little lucky here. They should have pressed that. So I'm just building up rails safely. Missed it. Very cool. I'm gonna widen my angle here to make myself a little more dangerous. I'm still missing every shot. Alright, now they're pinching in behind us though, so I'm actually gonna make this a little more aggro still. And just, like, I'm just slowly trying to kind of constrict these guys. Okay, that got dangerous. I don't want to take this aiming duel, so I'm just gonna leave. Because shocker, Moira is usually gonna win an aiming duel against me. So here, I'm just trying to play that safety, remember, to build up the rail. So like, note that I'm playing really tight angles. Like, if you look at my ability to close off their LOS, it's very high. I'm just gonna peace out here, I think. So I have rail, so I'm actually gonna peel out this way. And I'm just gonna leave that and go for the mini. Whew, I shouldn't have re-peeked that. Soldier's probably not gonna, or he's gonna come back up here, so I can actually just kind of give him the stanky leg, and come back around. And notice, like, a big thing that I'm doing is I'm always trying to stay on the outside of the fight, so there should never be someone behind me. I don't want to overstay my welcome here, because that puts me in threat range, and I don't have rail. I'm not lethal yet. So now I'm gonna re-park my way here. I kind of want to sit out here, though. Oh, Orion just died, okay. So I actually am gonna kind of just hang out up here and just get out. There's no reason to overstay my welcome here. And notice the reason I re-peeked that into the junk is because I had rail. So I was actually able to take that higher risk play because I was equally dangerous. So Soldier's gonna come back up here again. I'm just gonna duck that for a second. Okay, I missed the rail, very cool. Alright, I'm gonna slide deep here now. Oh, beautiful E. Yeah, that E was, that's like the kind of E that I always want to try and get. This was a terrible OC. Honestly, I thought that is already OT. So, I can't let myself get flustered and overconfident here. Rhina's gonna shatter. He's gonna come right side. Side, or no, left side? Oh, I didn't think you would clip me with that. This is not great. Yeah, no, I really needed that OC. That was a fumble for me. Because if I had that OC, I could have played a lot more aggressive early in that last fight. But instead, I had to give them a lot of space. And I played too scared after it too, and I overcompensated. Live and learn.
Take care of each other out there.
So here, I think I'm actually gonna, I don't want to rotate out top, because I think that's actually going to give me weaker leverage, because they're going to have the junk and stuff, and I think I'm just going to get suffocated before I can build rail. So what I'll probably do is I'll roll out towards coast. Not like hard coast, but just kind of in the middle, you know, over here, to just kind of help give an off angle on that high ground. And then once I have rail, I'll rotate into main a little more. So like here, I'm just gonna play up here for now. And then now down here. Okay, I fumbled that. Alright, now that I have rail. Alright, I've choked it, very cool. This is not great. I was hoping that I could maybe, I don't know. I was hoping I could maybe make enough space there for Mercy to get the res, but I don't think that was a very good chance. Maybe I wasn't able to have as much leverage in that fight as I wanted. So maybe if I... That's not great. This is going to be really ugly, honestly. I'm not sure how we're going to break this. If I can... Yeah, so I went for that because I was like, I need to just break things open. I was really kind of hoping for the Moira maybe. But... Mercy needed that guy dead to res. So I just had to go for it whether I was confident I could hit that or not. Notice I'm working my way around the edge of the map here. Like a lot of these, I'm just having to go for them, unfortunately, here, because my team just isn't really giving me a choice. Okay, see, so that's what happens if you leave your back open to the back of the map. You just get jump scared from behind. But, okay, so my team was able to win that, and now things should be hopefully easier. But we only have one more fight, basically, if we lose this. So I'm gonna have to be playing here. Alright, I didn't jump yet. That was an early E. Oh, and Rosari has her ult. Oh, he's gonna shatter. That's really bad. Oh, that's a worst possible outcome. No, yeah, I should have played the back high ground again. I didn't want to play mid because I was worried about getting, you know, demolished. I'm gonna have to break open from this side because there's no chance of getting any space from there. If I can get Moira here, this might be winnable. Yeah, this Junk's long range damage is really a problem. Alright, and I got tired. Nice res. Okay. So let's see. My problem here, I think I should play here because they can't drop. Yeah, this is probably where I should play. My tank is really far up though for it. I think I'm just gonna have to eat the Winston engage here. Because if I yield this middle, I think that's catastrophic. Yeah, see, like the soldier just got free reign there. Mm. Man, and we lost that first round. Yeah, that bites, man. Yeah, so I just wasn't quite able to pull that together.
Play of the game.
Yeah, I was really happy with how I played most of this round, but I was not, quite able to bring it together in the end. So like if we look at the replay here as like one last thing, before I cut out the video, because I don't want to make this too long. So right here. So at first I'm curious. So I don't want the enemy team to have won this fight. They have 4 ults though versus 2. So kind of the issue here though is their Ryan goes for a play here, and I wasn't watching where my tank was set up. So if I saw that my tank was set up there, I actually probably should have been here and then just slid this way. The reason I wouldn't be here is because I'm less confident. Like if someone came from here, or here, they would have an off angle on me and I wouldn't be able to see them. I know I wouldn't have very high impact here, but I would rather start, too far back and slide in than be too far up. So like here, I could probably slide this way and like land a good E and maybe get some good cleave damage from an off angle here while my Cass and Bap are here, and that might have bailed that out. It's still a big maybe because they dumped 2 ults. We didn't, use any. But yeah, and then I chose to hold KD, which I think is fine. I don't really want to burn excess ult charge on that. Like, yeah, there's no reason to feed them ult charge, Because my tank was dead, there's no way I'm dislodging that Reinhardt. Yeah, so this was the fight I handled well. Okay, so here's the problem. So I saw that it was 94, and I was like, great, but I thought we had a lot more point progress than we did. So this was just a like terrible, 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 terrible OC. Like just absolutely throwing the game. Because I was I can't remember if honestly if rails go through shields or not, and I was just hoping I get a kill on the Moira. Because I was like, well, if I kill the Moira in its last fight, it's done and dusted. It wasn't last fight, and I couldn't kill the Moira. I survive at least. But then, like, check this out. I was not, like, ready at all now. Because our Rhine, like, our Risa here, I need to be in right now. And I'm actually heading out because I'm scared. Because I used all my abilities, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta set up. Our Risa's taking damage, like, now, dude. Like, I gotta be, like, here, like, right now, shooting at this Rhine, sliding from here to here. Because if I could do that and kill that Ryan right there, or kill this Moira right here, or kill this Ana right here, or like even making them look here away from their Ryan, I like our Reese is almost dead, and I've done nothing with that attention that she's getting. And like even like here, like dude, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm playing scared with Rail, like because I don't have Rail rather, and because I heard the tire. But the problem is, remember how I was saying later, where I was like, well, my team isn't really giving me a choice. I just have to go in and make something work. Because if we don't, I'm just AFK. Like, I'm 200% getting nothing done here. At least here, if I like do a risky play or like semi-risky, usually I can find a way to make myself survive. It's just a question of if I can, push those limits and actually get value out of it. But like that, I could have done something from here. Or if I was able to like slide out this way. And this would have kept me way further from the tire, and I wouldn't have had to worry about Ryan over here, tire coming from that way. Yeah, and then at this point, as soon as our Risa dies, it just sunk. And then as for this other point, so I'm not happy with how I handled the first fight for sure. So I didn't hate this rollout because like I don't like the idea at all of starting up here or here because they're able to just keep an eye on me and the opponents at the same time. But I think what maybe would have been really saucy is just to play from here, and then as soon as their Rhine like walked up to here, I should have just slid up here with and had my E ready to just control this space because I can clearly see that they're not ready over here. And there is a chance that the soldier could like duck out this way, and that would probably be their best play to clear this high ground. But it would give me a lot more leverage. The other option I could do, and this sounds super troll, but I could play here, farm a rail, and then I could actually slide across to here, and this would maybe be my best play, actually, because there's so little chance that they could actually contest me here. It almost certainly keeps me on the outside of the map, and I can actually kind of just come back this way and swing back to control point if I need later. That might have been the play. So because if we look at this, I get the rail, and I'm like, okay, well shoot, the Rhine isn't here. I'm kind of antsy. If I had just held here, I also maybe could have hit the soldier, but I got, scared. And I went for an aggro rail. And yeah, maybe that could have like done something if I hit it. I don't think it would have though. Because if you look at this, like from his POV, he's looking at my Zarya and I just offer myself up to him. See, like, and this is the problem of not being on that angle when you have rail, is you're under too much heat and you're just gonna get hit by people who are literally already looking, in that direction at your other team members. Zarya gets cooked. I don't, it's none of my business, Our Ana broke LOS with the Zar. She looks like she kited back this way while Zar kited back this way. Not anything I could have done about that, but I very certainly could have made this a more competitive, fight. Because if I kill, people from, like if I kill the Ana here and double back this way, and we have Ana over here, Mercy and me over here, Echo over here, I think there's a pretty real chance we could clutch it. Ryan would be the last person standing, but I don't think he'd be able to kill any of us. But yeah, and then I just walk up because I'm like, well, shoot, man, maybe I can help, clear for a res, but I was just like literally walking up a waterfall, it doesn't work like that. So I liked this. So this is what I was talking about where I'm like, okay, well, we just got to crack something open here because my concern is there's not that many like very strong angles. I could have handled it slower, like going to here kind of and spamming this out and then rotating up here, spamming this out and then kind of moving forwards or like down here or something. I kind of wanted to bite though because I was confident that they don't have the Lucio. So even if their Rhine is like really on the ball and their team is relatively low mobility, I didn't think they would really be interested in like hard punishing me if I do an aggro play here, especially if I don't, land all the way out here. And the soldier was pretty overextended compared to where his team was. So what I can do is I can actually just, you know, put him in the sink here and get a lot of damage and at least force him out. And then our Echo is actually able to get the full kill. So then now that he's dead, I'm confident that I'm on the edge of the map or the edge of the fight. So I'm able to like farm a lot more aggressive here. I shouldn't have fired the rail there though. That was ego. Because now this is when a rail would have been, really nice, a fully charged rail. Our Zarya dies though, and I know that if I don't clear out this junk and like make that safer, we definitely lose this fight. So I was pretty happy with this. I think instead of slide though, I should have just walked up. Yeah. But it worked. And then we got the res. And I'm pretty reasonably happy with how I handled this. The E was a bit of a waste. The Ana was AFK. Yeah, so here I'm just like too oblivious. So what I should have done here is I should have realized that respawns could be pinching me because I got the junk pretty early. So after I missed the rail there, I should have kept tucked back here so that, I'm not like immediately, it buys me a little time, right, before I'm exposed to the enemy team. And then as soon as I had slide, I should just be sliding forward into this Rhine to get the kill and end up over here. And that would put me in a much safer situation and like way less aggro and make sure I finish in the kills. But I just sat here trying to finish off these kills from this greedy off angle. But like I already did the work, I already wrapped around the whole map. We don't really need the greedy off angle anymore. We just need to survive and, clean things up. And we clean things up, but I always want to try and hold myself to higher standards.
That's what I was looking for.
So I'm not really happy with this because this puts me exactly like they're just looking at me, in this zone. I think what I should have done actually, this would be too greedy because if they wrap around this way, I'm sunk. But what I maybe could have done is play down here on the low ground, and this could be pretty saucy because most people wouldn't bother wrapping to here. And even if they did, I could pretty easily just, keep glancing over there and then slide this way if I'm in trouble. Most teams, though, would peel out someone this way or this way if they're on this side of the map. So pretty reasonably, I have that in view. And then more importantly, I have an off angle to kind of poke and hit my E here and like really good visibility. And it's hard for them to push me out of here. So then from here, as soon as they drop and like hard commit on my team, I actually can just slide in here and like just absolutely wreak havoc. And that I think that would have been really, really good. The thing that I did later that I is also okay is I played up here. This isn't great because it's exposed to here, it's exposed to here, it's exposed to here. I was using the middle pillar to like LOS the top window so I could focus on what's ever, going on in front of me. And then I was able to like use the pillar to kind of, keep this really controlled slim sightline into that top spot. But the problem here is cover because you just get forced out of this position super fast because there's just, you know, no cover. And you can't go this way because then you just end up stacked with your team and like pretty much AFK. Um, Unless you have teammates like over here or whatever. So I would have had to slide out to here really fast probably. And it's not super comfy because then your Ana has to peek wide to heal you. Um, but it's okay. Yeah, the E was a waste. I thought they were coming in early, but I should have waited till they dropped because then I could have just put it down like here. But yeah, see, like I'm so stacked that like this Ryan can literally just charge into our team and he just doesn't have to worry about it. And then instead of re-peeking here, I should have gone this way and looked for something from here because they wouldn't have been looking for this. Meanwhile, I'm just getting like murdered by Junkrat collateral here. And then the fact that I went for OC when looking head on into that much pressure, even if I didn't die to the junk spam, this Ryan shatters me. It kills me. So this was an atrocious play for me. I deserved that loss.
Recalculating. Area denial.
So the reason I went wide is remember how I was like, well, I can't really go through here because it's just likely that they suffocate me. And the problem also with this high ground is if you go out here, you can't like fundamentally, if there's a threat here and a threat here, there's zero chance you can deal with both of them. You're going to like get eviscerated. So I would have to actually slide out here, and that's a really, really committed play that I don't really want to do with my level of aiming. But if I was like a really confident aimer, maybe I could. Um, you can go out from up here, but it's kind of a little bit of the same. It's just really hard to draw, like find a good position to roll out into. So I would rather clear out this side of the map using these like long sight lines that let me get leverage on wherever the rhinos. And then from here I can choose to either leverage over point or leverage over the high ground from positions over here. Forced out the
Area
Moira,
denial.
kind of the same thing as I did with the soldier there, except our Echo, wasn't there to finish them off, which isn't, on them. Um, It's just a bummer, of course. The E was a fumble. I was hoping I could like toss it to like here and like maybe finish up the Moira, but that was, naive at best. Because I would have been able to like toss an E here on the Reinhardt or the Junk, because I should have been able to hear that he was here, and that would have been just so strong. Yeah, and then I just got, absolutely bombed on. My Mercy gets the res. I drop here. I think I should have held this cover a little closer, but it's, fine. I knew that he was tied up with my team. And this position, I couldn't just play. I wasn't super inclined to just walk forwards, because if we look at where their soldier is looking, that is like much more, in his vision than in here. Because my team is over here and they're over here, and that's like a lot more on the same line than, I want to be greedy around the edge of the map. I I like the E. I think that did its job. I think I missed the rail there. And I have a nice off angle for cleaning these guys up. Thought she was gonna Wraith over there. So here I tried out the other setup, but they're on the Winston now, which changes the dynamic pretty significantly. Because now I have to think way more about where I'm kiting back to. Because the problem is if I'm up here and Winston jumps me, sliding here isn't that great. I think what I should have done maybe is just drop without sliding, because then he has to either drop out of his bubble as I walk back and I can just like free farm him, or he just stays in his bubble and like can't kill me as I walk back and get a good angle here. And then I can, if I need to make this more aggro, I can just come to here again and start using this again, or I can even hop up to here and get like super aggro. Stupid E. It would have been a lot better to just hold that. Because like right now, I should have been Eing at my feet because I like saw the body language that this guy was gonna jump. And I do like a little hop that way because I was pretty confident that I didn't need to drop necessarily and like fully give up the high ground, because my team had like a lot of, eggs in the basket up here, and I was pretty sure I'd be able to hold it. But if we look at like where the threats are on my team, we're just all on this side. And this looks really ugly because like someone should be able to farm this Winston from here now, and I'm just like not there to do that because this should have been me, because I saw that my Echo and Zara were up here, you know. And so by this note, what I actually have to do now is, because I need to recognize that we've actually doubled so much effort into this side of the map, I just got to push through. So I actually need to just push into the soldier and get the kill here and threaten these guys. Because if I just fall back or like do nothing or like sit in the middle or whatever, I'm actually just going to be throwing the game. And I think that's what happens. Because see, like this junk just bodies me from this side of the map. He just cuts in because there's zero threats on this side of the map for him to worry about. Um, and even if I land a kill there or something, it's just bad. Then here, I turn my back on the opponents, and now they've gotten Winston controlling this side of the map, and these guys controlling this side of the map, and it's just over. Like, it's basically humanly impossible to win that fight. Well, hopefully that has been kind of interesting as a way of talking about Sojourn. I think she's a really interesting hero, and I've really enjoyed talking about her with some really good players in Tier 3. Um, and I hope it's like kind of interesting seeing, map played through, a little bit of theoretical ways of how you'd handle a difficult map's positioning with where there's like lots of inset high ground and whatnot. Um, and then, another map where I actually lost this one and I lost 0-2, but we kind of went back and looked at why. And a lot of it I could have very reasonably, fixed if I'd recognized the situations better, maybe been a little bit more disciplined. And my mechanics are very far from crazy, you know. But hopefully this gives you some ideas for how you can handle Sojourn as a hero and playing her. I don't usually make content, but I hope you enjoyed. I am a, tier 3 coach slash Overwatch Championship Series coach, though I've been on hiatus with that due to starting a full-time job. But let me know if you enjoyed this kind of content, and maybe I'll arbitrarily feel like making it again sometimes in the future.